Good morning, everyone. My name is John Gentile. This is my volunteer client, Court Marshall. Today we're going to do our upper body extremity program that was part of our volunteer workouts from our mesocycles that we created. We have six different exercises we're going to go over today. First one's going to be our single sets with dumbbell single arm rows. Then we're compound movement. We're going to do a three-way shoulder raise. So a front raise, a lateral raise, and a rear delt raise. And then our last compound movement, we're going to do single arm dumbbell kickbacks on the bench, and then seated overhead, two arm overhead extensions with dumbbell. All right, so here we are. So Court, I'm going to have you come up to the bench. So when we're at the bench, I want your feet to be hip width, nice and braced, nice and athletic position. You're going to bend your torso, brace your hand on the bench, pulling that shoulder back, and that dumbbell. That dumbbell is going to stay right in line with your hip. You're going to go up, grab a dumbbell. You're going to do 3 to 5 repetitions with your first set. Then you're going to put the dumbbell down, pulling that dumbbell up. Now one thing, I don't want you rotating with your dumbbell when you're rowing it up. I want you to stay nice and square to the bench. You're going to pull that dumbbell up, letting your elbow kind of clear your back, maintaining a nice strong core, keeping that belly button nice and tight. So we're going to start off with just a light to warm him up. So we're going to go a little bit of lighter weight, so nice flat back, good. Feet point straight ahead. Bring your feet closer to your body just a little bit, good. Arms extended, good, nice flat back, head nice and neutral. As you can see, now you may start nice and slow. Slow it down just a little bit. Pulling that dumbbell straight up, maintaining nice and strong position right there. Very nice. You may switch it up. Switch sides, around. One thing we also want to make sure is when he rows, his knees aren't going to collapse when he's in this position. There's multiple ways to perform this dumbbell single arm row. I like this way the best because it isolates the whole body and it engages every muscle in the body when we perform this movement. So Court just finished up his warm-up set. Now we're going to go into a little more, weight's going to be a little more difficult. He's going to perform 1 to 3 repetitions. And now I'm going to switch the camera. Alright. So feet nice and flat on the ground, hips nice and tight, low back, sunk in, squeeze your shoulder blades a little bit, pull that lat down good. 2. Good. Switch it up. As you can see there, just a little bit, he's starting to shrug up a little bit as he's starting to fatigue. So avoid that shrug. Pull that hand up into your belly button. Good. He's avoiding that shrug on this side. Very good. Nice job. Any pain or discomfort with those movements? No. So next what we're going to do, we're going to go into our three-way shoulder raise. So when we're working the deltoids in our raise pattern, we're kind of hitting those rotator cuff muscles as well, which are treated more like ligaments and tendons, so they're smaller and you don't need to create a whole lot of stress. And with the shoulders being a smaller muscle group, you don't need a whole lot of weight. It's going to be more based off of repetition, especially with this compound movement of working this shoulder. So our three-way shoulder raise, we're going to do to the front, so we're going to be standing. You're going to do to the front, we're going to do to the side, and then we're going to get in that same position we just were for that bent over row, and we're going to do a rear delt raise. So Court, main thing here is we're standing nice and tall, belly button nice and tight, hips under, or feet underneath our hips, arms coming up to parallel with the ground, coming straight down. You may start with your hands off to the side and kind of rotate them out if you like, as long as you're not creating any momentum with your body and swinging. Or you can start with the dumbbells flat on your quads and raise straight up that way. And isolate, so we're going to do 3 to 5 to the front. Then you're going to bring your arms out to the side. Hands are going to be on your IT bands, just on the side of your legs. You're going to raise out, make a T. If you need to go slightly in front, kind of almost like a 145-degree angle, you can, by all means. And then the last one, you're going to, like I said, we're going to bend at our torso, Arms are gonna be just between our belly button and our sternum, hanging straight down, pulling our lats down and back, raising straight up, slight bend in the arms. Okay? We're just gonna start off with the frontal raise. Pull straight up, nice and controlled, don't go as high, just nice and level. Right there looks good, abs tight, soft knees, bend those knees just a little bit. Good. 2 more. And make sure we're breathing. Inhale up, exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. So now we're going to do our lateral raise. Very good, palms facing the ground, nice and controlled, making a T. Very good. So now I'm going to have you bend just at your hips. Now we're going to go into that rear delt raise. So bring your feet a little closer together. Going to stand on that stilt, shoot those hips back, chest over, squeeze those shoulder blades down and low, and raise on up. Very good, just like that. And stay in that position. Try not to raise your body as you're coming up. As that weight tends to get heavier, or that load is heavier, people tend to raise their chest up. So maintaining that strong angle right there within the pelvis. Maybe put those dumbbells down. What we're going to do now, we're going to do that same movement again, but just from a different camera angle. Like I said, the load doesn't need to be that much for this movement. He's already getting, this is an exercise that is at the end of his workout. He doesn't need much besides these 10 to 15 pounds that he's doing. So what I will do with this, I'll have him just show a couple discrepancies that with a heavy load could occur. So Court, with the frontal look, with the front, just kind of want you to rock a little bit. Right. With the lat, I kind of want you to swing your upper body like you're getting too much of a tilt. And then with the rear delt raise, I want you to kind of pull up just a little bit. I'm showing you this just to show you what could happen if that weight gets too heavy and you don't perform this movement correctly. You're not going to really get the best results out of these this 3-way shoulder raise. It's quite a burner when you do the 12 to 15 reps that are prescribed. So right in front, so he's just going to do 3 reps this time. Right in front. Yeah. So main goal here is not to rock. We'll do a couple more rocking. Now isolate that core. Tuck that belly button in. Last down and pull those and go. Yeah. 1, 2. Very good. Now he's going to do the lateral. Kind of what we talked about. Ready? A couple more that way. So main goal there is he's getting his hips too much involved. He's really not using his arms and the shoulders at all. So main focus here is not to drive his hips up, to be nice and tall, and really isolate those shoulders. 2. Very good. Now into the bent over row, the rear delt raise. Yeah. So with that, he's just getting his chest involved, really higher in that chest. So we don't want that. We want that chest to really stay over the ground, really raise those arms up. So let's give you a couple good ones just to show everyone what it's supposed to look like. Nice flat back, arms slightly bent, so a little less bend in your arms. Very good. Nice shot. Any pain, discomfort with that? No. Okay, so our last compound exercise we're going to do is a single arm dumbbell kickback along with overhead extension. So with the dumbbell kickback, you're going to get on the bench. So just from this side angle, he's going to be on the bench. Arms will be up here. Same position as you were for a bent over row. Or you could be on the bench like this. So for both purposes, up, you're going to kick that arm back out, almost driving the head of that dumbbell to the sky without pulling your shoulder. Keeping your midsection nice and locked in, keeping that belly button tight, pulling and kicking straight back. Okay? And with the overhead extension, we're gonna be in a seated position. Dumbbell is gonna be over his head, elbows close to his ears, extending that dumbbell straight to the sky and cup. Bring it back down just below 90 degrees to where he feels comfortable in extending that dumbbell straight up over it. You can do it either way, which way you feel. I want you to do this way. shoulder square. Bring your body up just a little bit. Good. Bring that elbow up to your side. Kick up. 1, 2, 3. Couple more. Good. He's maintaining that angle. He's kicking that dumbbell straight up to the sky. Good. Let's go the other way. Sides up. Well here. Kick it straight back. Maintaining him strong in his core. And shrugging. Kind of pulling those lats down. Very good. All right, so now we're just gonna do the same thing, so just go back to the other side. Just gonna switch the angle up. Pick it up, pick it up. 1, 2, just do 3. Good. Switch it up. Go to the other side. Maintaining those neutral hips. Kicking straight back.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Very good. Okay, now let's take a seat on the bench. I'm gonna switch out your dumbbell. Now we're gonna do the overhead extension with the dumbbell. So arms extended. Bring those arms in close to your ears. Nice tall torso. Extend those arms straight up. Back down. Straight up. Keeping those arms close to your body. So right there. Just keep going. I'm just gonna switch the angle up real quick. Just give me 2 more. That angle, so I want him to keep his elbows closer to his ears, or his biceps closer to his ears. 1 more. Nice tight belly button. Good. Okay, so now we're just gonna increase the load just a little bit for those tricep extensions. Kickbacks, sorry. So he's gonna do heavier load with his tricep. So shoulders down. There you go. Less swing in that shoulder. Kick that dumbbell all the way back. 1 more. Good. So as you can see there a little bit, he's kind of shrugging his shoulder up there just a little bit to kind of engage more. I want him to pull that lat down. And pull that lat down and keep that elbow nice and close to the side. And get that kick back straight back. Much better on this side. Very good. I'm just going to switch the camera angle again. Just do 1 more or 2 more on each side. Yeah, much better. Pull that lat down. You're kind of uneven just a little bit, so kind of shift your body. Be nice and neutral within that side. Kick it up. Very good. Much better. Great adjustment. Go up. Good extension. Perfect. Good. Now we're going to go into our heavy set, or heavy complex with the seated overhead extension. So it's a little heavier. And maintaining, keep those elbows close to your body. Close to your ears, getting full extension. 1, 2, give me 1 more. Good, brace it, nice and rigid. Switch the camera angle up just a little bit. Good, stay strong. Elbows close to your ears. 1 more. Good, I got it. Very good. All right. So there you have it. With as you can see in the last video with the overhead extension, you can see that load got a little difficult towards the end. I know it's a lot to go through, but his elbows really started to flare out, so we would lighten that load to really try to give him a longer rest period in between these exercises. So there you have it. There's our upper body extremity. Thank you, Court, for being my volunteer today and last week. A lot of these single arm asymmetrical movements are based off of his FMS screening that we did a handful of weeks ago. So a lot of the single arm and dumbbell work is based off of that to really build his body to be more symmetrical within movement. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day.